how are you? It's Alfredo, team leader here at Keller Williams, and I have the honor of hanging out now with Albert, Mark, and Frank, so the AV home experts. And I just want to ask you all first a question. Being a part of a team or growing a team, what's that like, Albert? So I'll start with you, and then we'll go down the list. So what's it like building a team or building that organization?
What's it like? It's harder than anything else that I've ever done. And it requires a lot of patience, a lot of systems, a lot of believing in people. I think the end result is amazing, and I think it's worth it because you get to work with a lot of people and you get to see the growth. But it's definitely not easy. And the MREA book to keeping you, accountable with steps is definitely going to be one great step to come.
Man, I love how you quoted the MREA book in there and keeping the steps. It's the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. It's Albert's favorite book. I'm just kidding. But on a serious note, I've seen you grow. I've seen you grow the team. So anybody watching this, he's put a lot of time, he's put a lot of dedication into the work, into hiring, into building that organization. So what is one key that you've done that you feel has helped you build the organization?
I always like to, when I look at something, we were just on a call earlier today with Frank, and I always like to look at what can I solve for the team. So the idea should be, right, there's a lot of reasons why someone wants to build a team. And I think that's a self-discovery in its own, why you build a team. The idea for me, it would be to make the agents on my team production simpler, easier, and just a better quality of life. So a lot of the times, the questions that I ask myself is how can I make their world easier? So a CRM for us, that's a big part of it. The organization, the structure, having a great administrative assistant staff to be able to leverage a lot of the paperwork and a lot of the other stuff that they have to go through. Having a showing assistant model, just being able to leverage them that if they wanted to have the weekend off, that's totally up to them.
Now, you mentioned a lot of systems, and we'll get back to that in a second, but I want to jump to the team members here, and you all could see the other interviews for them separately. But Mark and Frank, what do you think it's been like, or what has it been like working with Albert? So I've seen him grow in a lot of the things, and I've learned a ton from him. What has it been like working with him? So I'll start with, I'll start with you, Frank.
You want me to step out so that
No, you can stay. No. You can stay.
Start with Mark, though.
What's it like working with the team? So the original team member here.
All right. Well, what's it like? Well, I've known Al for a really long time, and it's pretty cool that you get to work with people you like. Right? I think that's key, right?
Awesome. We like barbecue, so that helps.
I'm waiting for my invite.
Well, we had some, bro.
So, but yeah, I think that's one of the great things is working with people you like. I think it also brings a little bit of challenge. Challenging with Frank and just kind of like iron sharpens iron. So we're there. It's cool. And I think that's important to have in a team. In a team, it's like that good culture where it's competitive, but it's like you don't hate each other. Like you're helping each other out.
That's awesome. So you keep that fun atmosphere, but you push each other.
Yeah.
So
there's more to the team aside from them too. There's a few agents that are not here with us right now, but they also challenge them as well in different aspects. And I think that a team complements each other in different ways. So I know if Lynette was here, she'll be saying some fun things about Mark and just how she kind of pokes it around.
So we'll do the next one with the rest of the team to make sure they get.
Well, I don't know if it'll fit on a wide angle lens.
So now Frank, same question. What has it been like, and maybe not necessarily working with this guy so much, but what's it like working with all the team members, or what's it like building your business through a team?
I think the biggest thing is the accountability, to be honest. One of the big things coming in, Albert can attest to, is I fell asleep in two of his classes.
In a few meetings.
In a few meetings.
And a few calls.
In a few meetings, but
he's asleep right now.
He was able to still bring me on and hold me accountable to all my goals and things like that, and he believed in me more than I believed in myself in the beginning, and that's a huge part of being on the team, right? Always picking somebody up when you're down. So that's a big portion of us is always just, hey, this just happened, I did this, oh, can you help? It's also, playing together and playing nice, but it's always throwing your numbers in front of each other. Hey, can you beat this? Can you do this? So for me, the competitive aspect and being held accountable and also being transparent, we know what's going on with the rest of the team members, so we know where we should be.
Yeah, and I love to hear that. Oh, go ahead.
Let me just say something, because if anybody's listening to Frank's story real quick, a lot of times, to win in a team, it's a win-win, right? Yeah, I was holding him accountable, but he was doing the work. And I think that's such an important factor. Frank showed up like no one's. I mean, this guy's numbers show for themselves. Talked about he went at it over and over and over and over again, and it wasn't until somewhere around the 7th month that he broke through, and he just skyrocketed.
It's interesting you said that because sometimes we want it instant and we want everything to happen right away. And I remember on the team, the first year in real estate, it took me forever to figure that out. And once I joined that team, it helped me grow. So really love the culture that you're building on there. So I'm gonna bring back now to this big guy here, to Albert. So I know you mentioned some systems, right? And I know you're gonna be speaking at a few events. So what are some of the systems that you use? Because I've seen you speak at a few different events or a few different sites. So where are you going to be speaking, or where are you going to be sharing it a little bit?
I don't know if I'm going to be speaking this year on anything, but I love Follow Up Boss. So we are very involved in the Follow Up Boss community, and we're going and we use Wailopo for some of our marketing, and honestly, you know, when it comes to tools, the reason we're so open about it right now. I used to be part of the pond of agents that was like, what you have is the secret, right? So like a Follow Up Boss is the secret, or you know, if you're using Command or whatever your CRM or whatever your marketing thing is the secret. What I've come more into acceptance of is the tool is a really big part of it, right? Having the right tools is going to get you there, but it's more important how you use the tools, you know? So we all get the same type of leads, right? As everybody else, you know? But it's really how you manage those leads and what's your discipline like, and how are you leveraging your tools to make what everybody's trying to do easier, right? Because at the end of the day, I mean, whoever's watching, if you're a real estate agent, you're trying to convert a lead, right? From somewhere, obviously if it's not a referral, and we're all trying to do the same thing. And it's just how do we get there easier and with more transparency and with a lot of leverage.
Yeah,
so,
and I asked that question. It was a setup question. He wasn't expecting that one. So you can see I smile, but it's because you don't always have to use the same systems. You don't always have to use the same tools. It's what works for you. What we know is the models in the book, the models are best practices. That's going to give you a guide. But it's not always the same thing you have to use. Everybody can build their team differently. So I really appreciate you sharing that, because it's not always one size fits all. What you might do might be separate to what you might do, and what you might teach might be separate to what I might teach or might go. So I really think it's a great atmosphere you built with the team. So last thing, one thing out there for anybody, and these two gentlemen talked to the video before, so everybody watching this, you can watch those videos. But Albert, what's one thing that you can, piece of advice that you can give for someone out there on either building a team or growing agents? What would be one piece of advice that you can give them?
Oh man, I can talk a lot on those two, but
let's
well, look, if you're not trying to build a team, it's different, right? Because you're trying to see how can you grow your business solo. You're still going to need leverage. You're still going to need the MRA book. You're still going to need systems. So for me, what I have found consistent in all different types of businesses, like if you're someone that's a farmer, if you're someone that likes to grow their business digitally, if you're a door knocker or for sale by owner and expired, whatever it is, this is a word that's a little annoying, but it's so true, and it's persistence. And I know it's kind of like sucks, right? So persistence on what, right? So we're very big advocates. When everybody joins our team, we make them make a calendar, right? And what's your schedule? What is your schedule that you want to commit to? And all we're going to ask is that you're going to commit to one thing in the week, right? And it's 3 hours of prospecting for 5 days of the week. And aside from that, the second priority is going to be how are you going to feed your mind daily? You know, one of the things that I love, I know Mark does this very well, Frank does this as well too, and a lot of the other people on our team, is they feed their mind. You know, how do you feed your mind to sharpen your skills? So that might be, you know, talking and brainstorming a scenario. That might be, more importantly, picking up a book, you know, picking up books, doing masterminds, but really feeding yourself additional information that you didn't know. Don't walk around thinking you know everything, because that's usually going to lead to failure or to a plateau, and you're just not really going to grow from there. So what I would say is have the consistency, the persistence to be able to do 3 hours a day of prospecting and always feed your mind. I always like to tell people, if you can do 4 hours of that consistently every single day, I have a conviction with the right systems in place, you can easily make $100,000 in a year. I have the science behind it as far as in our CRM, like certain amount of leads, and you're able to do these two activities consistently for the year. $100,000 in 1 year it shouldn't even be a question.
Yeah, that's a lot of families that you're helping find a home or help sell their home. So Albert, thanks for joining me for this video. Really appreciate the AV home expert. So Mark and Frank, thanks guys. And no, I really appreciate you taking the time together. Shows a lot about the team. And I know the rest of the team, you're watching this, we'll get you all set up here as you start to build those big businesses. So thank you everybody for watching this, and I appreciate your time.